Not Quite
Darkness
is a podcast that contains spoilers, opinions, and general. Listener discretion is advised.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and ghouls, children of a moderate age, probably parental guidance for 13 and under, welcome back to another exciting episode of Not Quite Darkness. My name is Keith Brooks. My camera looks like it's covered in chicken grease, and I made it worse somehow. And here with me, as always, is Mr. Chad Dowdy. Chad, how are you doing today, sir?
You know, Keith, I'm not going to lie. I'm a little bit warm right now.
Yeah, I'd imagine. You look toasty. I thought you were just gonna have like a big ass beard and like a weird Amish hat or something, like
If I would have had that hat that he was wearing, I'd rock it. But
I feel if I had that hat, my life would be so much better. I feel like everything about that hat makes things a million times better. That being said, as we discuss that hat, let's tell the folks what we do and what movie we're watching. Here's what we do. We follow the In Search of Darkness documentary, and we watch every goddamn movie that they recommend. And they were just recommending shit. They just asked people, remember a movie and talk about it. That's what they did.
hey, just wait to see what our next one is, because you couldn't be more perfect, Keith, with what you just said.
Yep, super excited. But that doesn't reflect the movie we were talking about this week. And Chad, what are we watching this week?
Well, I appreciate that you said this week as if we do this weekly.
Okay.
But at any rate, right. This week we are covering John Carpenter's The Thing.
Bomb, bomb, bomb. Yeah. Yeah. So this is my second time viewing this movie. You've seen it before?
Several times, yes.
Oh God. Have you ever seen any of the other versions of it?
I saw the prequel
Yeah.
that came out, 10 years ago or something like that. But I have not seen like the original Thing from Another World.
I saw the prequel first when it came out in theaters because I have a crush on Mary Elizabeth Winstead. And then I saw this one. And then I went back and watched the 50s one, which I love a lot. I just bought it on DVD. It's a great movie.
Nice.
And you see a couple clips of it in this movie. But yeah, talk to me about what's the thing about.
So even though I've seen this movie several times, I did not remember this at all. At the beginning, a spaceship is coming to Earth.
I fucking hate this shot. Like, this is the one thing I wish they would remove from the movie. Like, I get it. I get your setting. And I don't know if it's like, did they just think audiences in 1982 were dumber than audiences now? Like that they won't get the movie unless we put context in it. Like, I would rather be confused about what was happening than you force feed me all the information.
Yeah, and as I say, I don't remember this thing, and it could be that I just like blocked it out. I'm like, that was stupid.
Yeah.
I choose not to remember this poorly done spaceship coming to Earth, because I feel like in the same thing happens in the Predator, but I don't think it's as dumb. It doesn't look as bad in Predator.
Yeah, I don't think it looks necessarily super like rough here. Like I bet the
It almost looks
CGI
like
here is
cartoon.
well, I bet the CGI is better than War of the Worlds, the newest one. But I don't know. Like I just think it feels out of place because it's the only time we break the Arctic. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep. So we get the stupid UFO. And then, like you said, we're in Antarctica. Awesome music, John Carpenter music, already setting the tone for, tension and suspense. Like, it's great. And we get a helicopter that is like literally chasing and shooting at a dog running through the stuff.
Which, let me go ahead and say this bit of information that I texted Chad at like 3 a.m. in the morning about that. You look kind of cold, actually, honestly, with the gloves and everything. You look at. So the dog, his name is Jed, and he's considered in real life the greatest dog actor of all time. He was White Fang, he was Iron Will, lived from 77 to 95. all animal training is based on his training because he was such
It's
a
awesome.
good boy that he wouldn't wag his tail in the middle of a take. He would wait till you yelled cut and then wag his tail. Isn't that
That's
insane?
awesome.
Yeah, look, he would get in character. That's crazy, you know?
I don't remember if you said in your text that all training was based on
Yeah,
you know
everybody
that
tries to emulate his now, which is kind of crazy. Yeah.
that it yeah, that's cool. I mean, yeah, it's a great dog.
Yeah.
But could you imagine, like you said, again, you still don't know exactly what's going on, but if you didn't have that spaceship at the beginning, you'd be like, what the hell is going on? These people are just shooting at a dog.
Yeah.
Like, that is crazy. So the helicopter's just chasing the dog, you know, they're shooting at the dog. And then we meet the cast at our like US research base,
Mhm.
you know. I don't want to say led by Kurt fucking Russell, but he's the hero of the film, you
And
know.
this is the thing to me too. Like, I think of Kurt Russell's role as McCready in this as so fucking manly. He's the pilot. He's not even like the head soldier. He's the
Yeah,
pilot. Like, that's all he does.
yeah,
Like,
with a
yeah,
crazy ass hat.
yeah, super crazy ass hat. And then Keith David, fucking Goliath there being awesome as shit. So,
But this is definitely, people could argue this. Like this is like peak Kurt Russell.
yeah.
Like this time frame with the movies that he's doing with John Carpenter is peak Kurt Russell. He's
I
awesome.
I think it's like redefining Kurt Russell because I've seen a lot of like old school Disney movies of him from the computer wore tennis shoes, all of that stuff. But I feel this time period is him doing like to Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball. You know what I mean? Like separating from the Disney, like this is I'm different now. Look at me. I'm taking this seriously sort of
Right.
attitude.
Yeah. I mean, he's great in this.
Yeah.
Uh so he's playing chess on the computer and he loses and he just pours his drink like into the mainframe of the computer, destroying it.
Yeah.
And like this is Antarctica. I can't imagine that there's a lot of stuff to do, first of all.
Yeah.
And two, they don't have an unlimited supply of computers.
But I also think that's probably all that computer could do. Because I think it is called Chessmaster 9000. But I think
Still, what
it's
else you gonna
also
do?
it's also this sort of side of because at first he's like, oh, the computer's gonna lose, stupid fucking computer, what a bitch. And then she beats him and he's like, what a bitch.
Yeah, and he's also, wasting alcohol
Yeah.
on top, like double whammy.
Double. Everything about you is terrible so far, Kurt Russell.
Yeah, is he the one shooting at the dog? Is he the terrible one? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. So the dog, makes it to that camp and he runs up basically to that group for, protection, if you will.
Yeah.
But and the helicopter lands and they don't speak English. They're Norwegians. And they're shooting at the dog still. And they're trying to like explain what's going on, but you don't understand what they're saying
And they
because
they
it's in
miss the
Norwegian.
dog and they shoot a guy through the leg.
Yes. So the helicopter gets blown up.
In the dumbest fucking scene in the world because literally the guy is like this and goes, oh, I dropped it. Whoa. Like, ugh.
Yeah. The helicopter gets blown up and then, they shoot the other Norwegian guy. So, they're both dead. The dog is safe.
Yeah.
Thank God, right, Keith?
Yeah, I agree completely. This
Yes.
fucking dog's awesome.
But is it a dog? That's. So they try to reach, on the radio, they try to reach the Norway station to be like, what the hell's going on? But they can't reach the station, you know. And then we meet Wilford Brimley, Mr. Diabetes himself. Do you have a
Diabetes.
Wilford Brimley impression? Can you do that or no?
Diabetes.
Yes, exactly. That was really good. I mean, I thought he was here. It was amazing.
And it's crazy because Wilford Brimley's like only 22 in this movie.
Yeah, you see that those memes or stuff. They were like pictures of Wilford Brimley, and it was like Tom Cruise is 15 years older than Wilford Brimley in this, and it's like he looks like he's 100 years old. It is crazy.
Poor man.
So, but he says, "Well, you guys got to go to the Norway camp. You got to see what's going on. This is just crazy." So, Kurt Russell McCready is the helicopter pilot, and he flies there, and he takes the doctor, and I kind of thought Wilford Brimley was the doctor, but
It feels like there are 9 doctors. It feels like they triple booked themselves. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I think so. I think that when I remake this at the end, spoiler, there's only going to be one doctor. I'm going to merge some characters here to
See,
make.
I'm gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna have 155 doctors. Like, but
You
like,
said it in ER. Is that where you're going to
yeah,
say it?
oops, all doctors edition of the thing. I also don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, at least with the Norwegians, I know what they were doing in the Arctic. I have no idea what the Americans are doing in the Arctic.
That's true. They don't really explain it, but I never thought of that. I mean, it's not really. I mean, you're just, I guess, just researching the ice, and shit. I
Yeah, I
mean,
get.
like,
Well,
makes sense to me. Um, so after McCready and the doc, flies off, we see the dog wandering around a little bit, just like it has the run of the place, basically. Um, but when McCready and the doctor get to the base, I mean, it's wiped out. The base is wiped out. People,
yeah.
there's like dead bodies, burned bodies. I mean, it looks terrible.
What and it's also okay, so two things. What three things. One, this is an adaptation of a book called Who Goes There, I think is the name of the book, the original book, which is big in the horror world and all that stuff. Second, when the dog has free reign of the place, there's a shot that the dog is amazing in its acting, clearly. But when it's going down a hallway and you see a room with a shadow of a person and the dog comes into that room, right?
Right.
Carpenter got a crew member, like a gaffer, to be that person, so that way the silhouette wouldn't match anybody you knew, so you wouldn't be able to see who it was that was being taken in that moment, right? So that's a pretty cool choice that he
Yeah,
made.
that's awesome.
Yeah. The third thing is they they see this building, the Norwegian camp, it's burned to hell and back, holes in the walls, crazy time has happened. If you want to know more about that, go to 2011, watch that movie. But they go outside and there's this body there that they're like, "Oh my god, is that a human?" And their reaction should have been much fucking bigger than what it was, because if that's a human, it has 19 arms and a tentacle sticking out of its dick, and you're just like, oh, we should get a shovel. No, get what the fuck is that?
I mean, it's definitely like a merged
Yeah,
body with like other things that aren't just like body parts, like you're saying.
yeah,
I mean, it looks like, for lack of an alien creature almost. I
it's
mean,
got two faces.
yeah,
Like it's what the fuck?
yeah. But like you said, get a shovel. They do bring it back with them,
Yeah,
you know, which is
a
scary
choice.
enough as it
Yeah,
is. But
exactly.
yeah, you're right though. They did not react the way normal people would react
No.
to seeing something that wild. So they take the body back. There's an autopsy, and this is where like Wilford Brimley, the other doctor, is pulling random organs out of it. And it's so funny because I feel like Wilford Brimley uh knows exactly what's going on from
Yeah,
like basically from the jump.
absolutely.
He knows, oh, this is an alien life form. Like he didn't tell anybody this, but he's like, it's an alien life form, and clearly it can imitate everyone.
Yeah,
So we're all fucked.
Wilford Brimley is it's the undersung hero of this movie because he's so badass. He doesn't even have to wash off the organs in this oddly mixed soup of a person to know what they are. He just grabs his like, well, that's a lung, well, that's a liver. That's just like knows instantly.
Exactly. So then the dad from Mr. Boogedy is in this. He's one of the he's been in other things too, but he's the terrible dad in Mr. Boogedy. It's a terrible movie.
He
He's
is.
terrible in
It
it.
totally is. Yeah.
So he puts the dog up with the other dogs that they have at the camp. And the other dogs do not like this new dog at all.
And I've been singing the praises of Jed, but all of these dogs give award-winning performances here because they're like, "What the fuck is this thing? Dad, come back! What the fuck is this thing?"
Yeah. And so then, basically the first alien dog, if you will, its face just bursts open and like spider-like tentacles start busting out of it. I
And
mean, it's
grabbing
definitely
other
freaky.
dogs. Yeah, it's terrifying. And then one dog bites through the fence, like turns to a life of crime and escapism to
You
get
gotta
out
get
of this
out.
place.
You
And
got to.
and then the thing that bothers me is this happens almost instantly when he takes the dog in there, right? And then somewhere else in the section of the thing, Kurt Russell gets a feeling that something's off and then hits an alarm button. Like he's not even fucking in there. And then
He
he
immediately pulls the fire alarm. For what reason are you doing pulling
immediately.
a fire alarm?
And then he tells somebody else, go get Childs. That person goes to Childs and says, McCready said, get the blowtorch. No, he didn't. He just said, get Childs. Like, you're adding things. Yeah, McCready said that he hates people of color and you should get a blowtorch. Whoa,
It's
dude.
almost like the people in this movie read the script beforehand, is what it seems like.
Yeah.
Oh, we need fire to kill this alien. So I'm sure somebody would have told us to get the fire. But yeah. So the boogity guy, he sees this and he's like, oh shit, or whatever. And everybody shows up and they're seeing like craziness. They're seeing like, this creature like attaching itself to the other dogs, getting the other dogs. And it's pretty tough to watch because they just start shooting and they're just shooting dogs. It is tough. I mean,
And
to see.
also like the scene is because it has like these tentacle like web things that it shoots out and you can hear the dogs crying. Like that's it's rough. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole scene is rough.
But one of the best moments of Boogity Man guy is McCready goes to shoot one of the dogs and he rushes to stop him from doing it. And
Yes,
McCready
it's
just
his
puts
dogs. It's
yeah,
it's a nice touch.
yeah,
And yeah, he's upset about this whole situation. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
it's obviously whatever he is, he's the dog guy. He's the
Yeah, yeah. In my mind, they're like GI Joe. So they each have like this is the dog guy.
100%.
This is the guy that goes on the ocean missions. This is the doctor on this table. This is the doctor on this table. Like,
Exactly. So Keith David does show up, Childs, with a flamethrower, and he just, blast everything in the room,
yeah,
because they knew they needed that flamethrower, even though they had guns. They were shooting it with guns.
yeah,
It wasn't working. So, the next day again, diabetes, Wilford Brimley, he's examining the remains. Uh, and that's when he really discovers that, it can imitate. Like somehow he's just figured this out. Um, and so then they are watching a video, I guess they took from the Norwegian camp
yeah.
of what they were doing. They're blowing stuff up in the snow. There was another part of, their camp or whatever. They discovered something. And so McCready decides he's going to go check out that part
And that
of what they were doing.
footage is from the first movie. So that footage that they're saying is the Norwegian, that's reused footage from the thing from outer space.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, especially the scene where they're all standing around it. Like that's one of my favorite shots from that.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I don't think I ever realized that. That's cool.
yeah,
So he goes to, and this time when he goes back, he discovers a spaceship.
yeah,
The literal spaceship, and so they realize that, again, they're putting two and two together, very well in this movie. They're
yeah.
like, okay, there was something in there. It's clearly thought out, and now it's fucking shit up, and it imitated a dog. Uh, I was kind of surprised that we did not like see anything more about the spaceship. Like we didn't see them like going into the spaceship,
Yeah.
maybe a jump scare or two, them trying to figure out what's going on. I mean, I get it. The movie's long enough as it is, but
Yeah.
you know, it's almost like the burnt merged body crazy thing. It's like this is the fucking spaceship.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like no one wants to like they're researchers. Some of them are,
Yeah.
but
And I'm
they're not
shocked
worried
we
about this.
didn't get that in the prequel either. Like it feels like because like we get the setup of the merged guy that goes back to the place. Like I remember that distinctly, right? But we don't get the prequel basically is the same thing happens at a different camp. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we don't get that exploration of the spaceship or anything in that. So that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is weird. Um, and so Wilford Brimley, he's running a simulation on this computer, and basically it says something like there's a 75% chance that at least one of them has been infected, imitated, whatever the terminology is.
Yeah.
It's a pretty high percentage. So, and then it says basically if it gets to civilization, how long before the entire world is infected?
Yeah.
And it looked like it was
27.
2,700 hours.
Oh, see, I thought it said days. Okay, hours makes much more sense.
Well, 2,700 hours is 3 years, if that's really what it is. I mean,
Oh,
COVID was worse than that shit.
oh yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, but not everyone got assimilated into the COVID virus. So, let me see if I can find out exactly what it says because I think it says days, which is
it
still
could
a long
be,
time.
because it's depends on the type of copy.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was weird. Because I was like, is this trying to say 27 hours, 27.000, or is that a comma?
Yeah. I don't know how to look for this. The thing simulation warning. How long would it take to get everyone? 27,000 hours to take over the world.
That's what it says. Okay.
Well, regardless, 3 years sounds like a reasonable time length. Yeah,
Especially if you consider like again, it's not like this movie was 100 years ago, but it it's not as fast of a pace world, you know, in the
absolutely.
80s or whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep. So, back at the camp or whatever, the radio guy, there's a radio guy to your
Name
GI Joe thing,
Windows. Yep.
yeah, Windows, yep. And he sees one of his buddies like getting assimilated by the creature or whatnot, and so he runs off to tell everybody. But when they all come back, the dude's gone, and he's out in the middle of the snow.
Yeah, yes. With this
It was
fucking
super creepy.
with long hands. He looks like the hot dog fingers from Everything Everywhere All at Once. Straight up.
And also he can't talk. He's getting there, but he's just like,
Ah! Yeah, yeah.
and like, yeah, it looks awesome.
Looks awesome.
And they just burn him. They just blow him away. There's
Yeah.
no like,
Yeah.
hey baby, that's our buddy or whatever. They're like, fuck it, man. He sounds weird and his fingers look weird.
Yeah.
They're gonna burn this fucker up. Like that's what's happening. And so they're all out there except for Wilford Brimley. He is not out there when they're killing him. And McCready sees him like running off. And McCready looks and he has Wilford Brimley has destroyed the helicopter basically so that they can't leave. And then he's inside and he's busting up the radio and the computers so they can't, radio for help or whatever. And then he just starts shooting at anybody who tries to come in there. Again, like he knows what's going on.
Mhm.
He doesn't trust anybody. But let's just tell the group. Let's tell the group what you think and let's see what happens.
Well, but that gives them the opportunity to disagree with you. I think Diabetes Brothers unite because I'm
No.
totally on mood.
Okay. Yes, I'm saying it's okay that he busts shit up.
Yeah.
But before you start shooting people,
No, because then they're going to complain. They're going to be like, "No, let me live." And like, "No, fuck you. You're infected clearly."
right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Your finger's a little bit longer than it was yesterday.
Yeah. What was that? Hot dog hands? Kabam. You know what I
No,
mean? You're done.
Exactly. So, but he starts shooting at him. But eventually, they do subdue him. Because to your point, he's 85 years old, and
Yeah.
most of them are young.
Yeah.
But then they start the infighting because no one really knows who to trust.
Yeah.
Who could be, I don't know what terminology to use for this. Assimilated, infected, turned, an alien. I
The
don't know.
thing, yeah.
Yeah. What's a thing? So, and the deal is, they figure out like, so this thing can like get you obviously when you're alone. Well, they sure become alone a lot.
All the
all
fucking time.
For no reason.
Yeah. And Wilford Brimley even says, like, all it takes is a single cell for it to get to you. And it's like, you guys are sharing booze left and right. Did you not learn about cooties?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, McCready's like recording a captain's log and like by himself in the dark.
Yeah.
Like maybe have somebody be with y'all at all freaking times. And you really need more than one person because if that person, you need to be in threes at least.
Just
if
have a
not
slumber
everybody.
party in that little party room. Like, everybody,
100% what I would do.
everybody stay there.
We would all be in that room.
Yeah.
100%. And if we have to go get food, we're all going to get food together.
Yeah.
If we have to do this, we're doing everything together. I mean, these people, again, they figured out what was going on a lot quicker than I would figure it out. But once I figured it out, then I'm going to be doing the right stuff in that scenario. And they are not at all.
Hmm.
And so, of course, somebody goes missing. And so they're like, oh, well, let's split up and go look for this person that's gone missing. I mean, it's crazy. And then one of the guys, might be the cook, he finds McCready's
Yeah.
clothes
Roller skates
kind of
cook. Yep. Hmm.
that are kind of like ripped and stuff, implying that he's not really McCready.
Yeah.
He's been turned or whatever. Um, so they find him, but McCready threatens to just blow the whole fucking place up. He's got like dynamite. I mean, he's not having this or
Breaks in
whatever.
through a window. It's covered in ice. I love because they ask Childs. The Child is ready to like set him on fire, and they're like, "What if you're wrong, Childs?" And he's like, "Then I'm wrong," and he's still ready to do it.
Yes, and we don't know. I mean, yes, we do because of when we watch this eventually, especially, we know Kurt Russell's the hero, but you don't know if he's been turned
At all?
technically,
No.
at this point. You have no idea. I mean, the evidence kind of does point to the fact that he is,
Yeah.
an alien with the clothes as it is. But again, he's the hero. So he has not been turned. But, so then there's a scuffle with that. And I'm not sure what happens to one of the guys, but it's almost like he has a heart attack or something. Like,
Yeah, the bigger man. Yeah.
which is weird with what we're about to like talk about. But he has a heart attack, and so they take him into the thing, and the doctor is like performing CPR. Amazing scene
Yeah.
where he puts the paddles on. He's going to clear, and the chest cavity opens up, and it's like a huge mouth with teeth.
It's like a scene from the Ghostbusters cartoon, like one of the monsters that you would have like a play toy from like Burger King or something like that. That's what it looks like, but it's so fucking awesome. It's so awesome.
It's awesome. The doctor's arms just go straight into his chest cavity, basically, and then they clamp down on his arms, and just the doctor pulls his arms away, and like his hands are gone.
Yeah.
Basically, his forearm down
Yeah.
is gone. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's excellent. But that guy was a thing, but he had a heart attack. I guess he copied him so much that he copied his heart problems. Is
Well,
that what you
and
think?
that's the thing too, is I don't know exactly how the thing operates. Like I don't know if it takes over your body or it just replicates your body or it absorbs your body because we sort of see a lot of variations of that
Right.
throughout the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because if it's replicating, again, then your clothes wouldn't. I mean, like your clothes are ripped. Like that's part of the point is like your clothes are ripped, but you're still wearing your clothes.
Yeah.
So it's replicated clothes,
Yeah.
you know. But so it's a little complicated. Again, it's not necessarily important that you know exactly how this
Yeah.
crazy alien works. But again, it was an awesome scene, regardless.
Yeah.
And they burn it. McCready burns it. Um, but then the head of this guy goes like spider legs and starts crawling out. It looks awesome.
And they don't even notice. That's my favorite part of it.
Yeah.
Like this head becomes a spider, runs under a desk, practically giggling, and then you have a shot of them walking forward towards the fire, and then over their shoulder you see it like
Exactly.
getting out of the fucking way.
And we talked about this in the last movie was Basket Case. This is the same year. And again, I'm not saying this is the best special effects I've ever seen in my entire life, but 1,000 times better than
A
Belial.
1,000 times better. I think Belial, I would rather have a drink with Belial than I would the thing, but Belial's got stories. Belial's got like character to him, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And he could get in your head too, and just
Yeah.
you don't even have to talk.
Yeah.
You're just hearing it in your mind. So there's more infighting, with all of this. And McCready just ends up shooting Boogady's dad. He just,
Well, but
right in the head.
we skipped over because somebody destroys the blood resources. Like they have everybody's blood backed up. Somebody goes in there, destroys that. And so now it's a question of who's who. And so McCready has the idea, I'm gonna tie all of you up. And they're like, for science experiments? He's like, yeah, for science experiments.
Exactly.
And then he ties everybody up to a chair, and Boogady's dad has like a razor blade and is like gonna try to take down Snake Plissken, and then he just pops him in the fucking head. And then they tie everybody else up with ropes. to chairs. They get all of their blood out, and he's like, I'm going to do a hot iron in your blood and see what the reaction is. And I don't know, is it because these things burn? Because there's been no hypothesis about this before. You know what I mean? Like we haven't. I don't know where he's getting the science.
So yes, it's like we talk about. They know everything
Yeah.
about this creature, about what it can and can't do. They know everything because yes, it could very well be that the blood would be different, but the blood is out of the body, and they say make some line of like it's still a part of the organism and it'll try to protect itself
That's
or
right.
something like
Yeah.
that. But again, they know. I don't know how they know that
Yeah.
because the alternative is if you're wrong, you've tested everyone's blood, everybody's cool,
Yeah.
even though they're not.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But if this hadn't have worked, you would be like, oh well, no one's turned. We've killed everybody that needs to be killed. And they even check Boogedy's blood first, and it doesn't react. I'm like, well, McCready, you just murdered somebody. Just FYI.
But also McCready's like, yeah, who gives a shit? I also just don't know from a scientific standpoint why they would think this blood thing. Because like nothing else in the world works that way. Like if you separate, I mean, phantom limb syndrome, but if you cut my finger off, I'm not gonna feel what happens to my finger afterwards. You know what I mean?
Exactly. But again, if they explained it, I kind of missed it.
Yeah. Same
But
here.
to their credit, it does work. They read this script.
They
It works.
they've read.
But the tension is great. How
Absolutely.
everyone has their own thing, and I do like how after he Kurt Russell checks the radio guy with Windows,
Windows.
like then he's not tied up anymore and he's helping. It's
Yeah.
like you're cool, so now he's helping. So then it does react, and it's so funny. It reacts to one of the guys, and every time
Palmer.
I watch this, I can never remember
Which one?
who like which guy it is. Like
Yeah.
I know it's not Childs and I know it's not McCready. But other than that, I'm like, is it the boss? Is it like
Yeah.
I just can't remember who it is. And it's a guy that I really don't even know what his deal is.
He's the alien guy. He's the guy who I thought was Kramer at first, and he wears like a jean vest, and he's the one that's like chariots of the gods, man. Aliens are already here, bro. Like that guy. Like that's who he is.
Yeah, but okay. Yeah, but like what's his deal at the like you said, everybody has their own like
He
I don't know what his deal is.
he's the conspiracy theorist guy. You
You
need
gotta
a
have the
crazy
conspiracy theory.
person there, so you feel like, oh, I think I'm losing it. Oh, well, at least I'm not as bad as Palmer. Okay, good. And then you go about your day.
Or maybe he's like the third doctor too. We just don't really
Yeah.
see it.
Don't worry.
Maybe
He's
a
the
doctor.
homeopathic doctor. is what he
Exactly.
is.
So, and he starts like, even they've just done the blood out of the body, but he starts freaking out, almost like he's being
The,
attacked.
the fucking boss is beside him, and I invite anyone to go back and watch the scene and pay attention to the boss because he is giving the performance of a goddamn lifetime. Because he's literally like, "What the fuck?" Like,
I love it.
it's so,
And he's tied up and he can't. I love the fact that they're tied up right next to this creature and they can't get away.
Yeah.
Like it's really awesome. And it's like you said, he is screaming, get me out of here. Like, what the hell? Yeah, it's awesome. Um, then because of all of this, the radio guy gets killed by the Kramer guy. McCready burns them, they're dead. And then we're back to the blood test again.
Yeah.
And everybody else is fine. So
Yeah.
now we're down to there's only 4 people left, which is McCready, Keith David Childs, the cook, and the boss, minus Wilford Brimley, because he hasn't been here the whole time.
Well,
They
yeah,
locked him up
he locked him
outside
up.
in a little cabin or something.
Yeah.
That was a cool scene with him too, where he, they go and see him and he's like, "Hey guys, I'm cool now.
I'm
I
totally
was
cool.
crazy before, but I'm fine. I'm ready to come out." And
My blood sugar was high. Please.
So because those 4 are cool, you would think now let's all 4 stay together the entire time now.
Yeah. Nope.
But
Instantly.
obviously, nope.
Scooby Doo rules. Instantly, we're gonna split up.
Yep, exactly. Like, and again, if you have to do that because of necessity, then hey, the next time we see each other, we're going to do this blood test again. Just so you know, like, here's the deal.
Yeah.
So they go, like, some of them go to see Wilford Brimley, but he is gone. He's not in that cabin. He's not tied up or locked up in the cabin. And this, I got a little bit confused on. because so, they say, I mean, he's been busy and they see like a tunnel that he made and he's built a ship. One, how does he building a ship? And two, are you, tell me this, Keith. Did he in fact build an underground tunnel in the snow? Is that what happened?
That's the idea. And like, okay, so I think in the original book, one of the concepts is that it retains the knowledge of everything it was before. And we sort of like hint on that when Wilford Brimley is doing the autopsy. There's like it's in between multiple things, right? The beast is, right? But it's just definitely not human. And so I think with it, it carries this knowledge of 1,000 different species. And so that like it can still change into whatever it wants to, I think is the bigger idea. And so it must have turned into the mole man or something and carved a thing into the bottom. And then a fucking, I don't know, a fucking Inspector Gadget scientist. This is the part that's always the weirdest for me, is that it was building a spaceship in
Yes.
underground.
It's very weird. Like
Because why
again,
not just break the door down? Why
it,
why bore a hole into the earth? And especially why build a spaceship? If you're trying to get back to the ice so you can go to sleep.
well, I don't know. I think at that point maybe I think he's just trying to get to like civilization,
Okay.
in that regard. And a spaceship, yeah, you can go to outer space with it, but also, the Millennium Falcon can fly from the United States to Australia if it needs to. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I feel like that's the thought process at first, I
Mm,
feel like.
okay.
But then, when they discover this, um, they blow up the spaceship.
Yeah.
And so that's when maybe the plan changes
I can see that.
to to doing that. But so Wilford Brimley, he's blowing the power now, like the generators and things like that. And again, this is Antarctica, so you will freeze to death if you don't have heat.
I also think they could have reacted bigger to the tunnel in the ice thing and him building a spaceship. Like, I mean, granted, that's definitely confirmation is an alien thing, but I think if I opened up a wall and within 3 hours somebody had made Subterranea, my
Yes,
reaction would be, guys, let's go back home.
yeah,
Let's get the fuck out of here.
we're fucked, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. So, you know, and so now again, because they realize everything. Oh, he is trying to freeze all of us, including himself, until the rescue team comes in the spring.
Yeah.
So that's the new aliens, the thing's plan, with it. So they're blowing up. They start blowing up everything. Like again, what what's the thought process? Hey, we're all gonna freeze to death now, so we're just gonna blow everything up. Like I don't understand. Like if you're Wilford Brimley, the thing,
Mhm.
what's to stop you from walking out into the to Antarctica? Like a little away from the camp,
It's just
and
thinking, freeze.
yeah, it just chill, until they all die,
Yeah.
you know. Like so I don't really quite understand, what's going on, why they need to start blowing shit up. I don't get the
Well, I
I
think
don't get it.
they don't want it to survive. I think they've accepted the fact they're gonna die, and they're like, we have to kill this thing no matter what it is, and no matter what. But I feel like Wilfred Brimley Alien could have gotten away at any point and just didn't.
Yeah, because when it was a dog, it just ran across the
Yeah,
Arctic, from one camp to another,
yeah,
So yeah, it's a little weird in that regard. But because they're blowing shit up, they can't blow shit up together. They all have to separate to blow shit up.
yeah,
Again, so dumb. The dude gets the Wilford Brimley gets the boss,
yeah,
kills the boss, whatever does the boss. Uh, and finally, it comes after McCready. But McCready throws like dynamite at it, the creature, and blows it up.
yeah.
And when he walks out of from the wreckage, McCready does. And when he walks out of the wreckage, there is Childs standing there as well. And they've been separated for long enough
Hmm.
for, either of them to be a thing at this point. And they don't trust each other. And, they just sat down and they're just like having a conversation of, resigned to the fact that this is it. And the line I did write it down, it was cool, where Kurt Russell says, let's just wait here for a little while and see what happens.
Yeah.
That's a great line.
Great line.
And that's, and they just sit there, basically waiting to die.
Yeah. And I love that moment too, because there is like, it's almost biblical in the sense that you can interpret it any way you want to, because there's a moment Kurt Russell shares his drink and Childs drinks it, and then Kurt Russell laughs. And is Kurt Russell taken and he's realized and he just got him, or is he realizing you could have gotten me just right now by doing, it's so simple. And then it's also, we don't see him blow up the boss guy, and we know the boss guy got by Wilford Brimley. So is he still alive and still out there and still an alien? You know what I mean?
Right. And I've seen this before too. Like, I've read this and I definitely paid attention to it this time. But part of the online discussion, or the discussion about this film in general, is that they believe, some of them believe, that Childs is the alien at this point, because when Kurt Russell talks, you can see his breath. When Childs talks, you cannot, there is no breath.
Oh, that's weird.
So, and I can't remember. I think John Carpenter was like, well, it was almost like a happy accident. I don't remember. You know what I mean? It was kind of like that. Like, it was really cold when we were filming Kurt Russell stuff, but not maybe when we were filming Childs. So that's why you can, but it certainly lends to credence that, if it's an alien, it may not breathe the same way.
Yeah.
And you're not seeing its breath, but you clearly see Kurt Russell's breath the entire time.
Yeah.
Like, it's obvious, but you don't see Childs at all.
But I think it's such like, listen, we've been talking about this movie, and there's a lot of plot holes. There's a lot of, motivational gaps and stuff like that. But it's still so compelling that it still makes you go, oh, I wonder what it is. I wonder what the answer is. It's like this long game version of Among Us. And it's still, it's, there's something so genius about that. And regardless, we didn't win. Nobody wins in the end of this. Everybody dies, no matter what. So, yeah, it's just a very. What did you think about it?
I gave it 3.5. I think it's really good.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you said, there's plot holes, but it doesn't matter. It works.
Yeah.
The movie works. The tension works.
Yeah.
Yeah. They could clean some stuff up, but again, it's a really good movie. Like,
yeah, I agree. I think I gave it 4. And like, I think all of the reading about the subtext for the Cold War, I get why people do that. And I'm sure some element of that is in there. But I also think a lot of times horror movies are just about primal fears and the fear of not knowing who to trust, no matter what. Like, that's just a natural baked in thing for us. And also the fear of someone being, it looks like somebody being somebody you can't trust, being ostracized, alone, with no one to turn to. I think that can be read in a multitude of ways. And I think part of the beauty of a film like this is that it gives itself the birth to be interpreted that way.
Right.
I agree with Carpenter. I think it's unintentional most of the time, but it's a happy accident. I
Right.
totally, as opposed to something like Basket Case, I see why this is on the list. You know what I mean?
100%. Absolutely.
Yeah. So we do 2 things. We do Funko Pops that we want to see of this, and then we do a remake of the film. What Funko? I see you got a Funko Pop already beside you.
Yeah, already. And there's other Funko Pops too. There is the Spider Head. There's the Spider Head.
There's the McCready. I got the McCready.
McCready. So because those things would probably be the ones that you would choose.
Yeah.
In this case, give me Childs with the fucking flamethrower.
Oh, that's solid. That's solid. I have 2. I want to see hot dog hands, like kneeling in the snow, mouth open. And then they do like those scenes things. And I want the scene of, let's just see what happens. Like, of Childs and McCready both beat to hell, burned out snow beside them, and they're just sharing a drink. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. That's dope.
Yeah.
Yep. I like it.
And now remakes. This is one of the ones where I didn't want to make a remake, like, because I feel this is golden. It's classic the way it is. But I came up with something. But let's hear what yours is first.
Yeah, it's because, like you said, there's a prequel, that basically is almost a remake.
Yeah.
Because it's the same story, if you will. So, it's kind of already remade. It in itself is a remake. So it's a little difficult. I agree with you. I wouldn't really remake this, but yeah, that's what we do. We're going to remake it. So, I would change it up, and instead of like being in Antarctica, because we've seen it in the prequel, let's set it in the Amazon, somewhere like deep in the Amazon. They're researching. That's where the spaceship landed, a long time ago, and maybe it's not frozen, but maybe it was like in cryo or something like that, and they,
Yeah.
that's how it's out. So it's the same premise, but now we're just, somewhere different location, so that it's not a direct copy of that. But as far as the casting, I cast three people. McCready is Austin Butler.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Childs would be John David Washington. He's
Yes.
awesome. And then there'd only be one doctor. I would merge all the doctors, and it would be Ray Fiennes.
Fantastic.
He's smart. He's going to know what's going on, and I believe him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that'd be fun.
But what I would do, though, this is kind of what you said earlier. I would play up the tension even more, and I would start it even earlier of we can't trust anybody. And that's what this is, the entire, almost the entire movie is you don't know who to trust. And,
Yeah.
And who's backstabbing who. And we as an audience don't know who to trust either. We don't see necessarily, who it is. So that's, again, it's a pretty straightforward remake, except for take it out in Antarctica because we've seen it several times.
Yeah. No, I love it. I love the idea. And so I was debating with like if I would remake it closer to the actual book, but I think this is an improvement on the book. If I would like do a remake into a sequel and call it Things instead of Thing, you know what I mean? But now I decided I wanted to do The Muppets Present the Thing.
There you go.
And so there's only one live person in it. Everybody else is Muppets. And then the live person is the McCready character played by Adam Driver. And the rest of them are just Muppets dealing with the rest of the film and let awesomeness ensue. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think it'd be great. I think it'd be great.
That works. Like, I was trying to think outside the box too, to do something weird with it, but yeah, that works.
Yeah. So there you go. Just to go, oh my God, those Swedes.
Well, the Swedish chef. That's who gets shot at the beginning, right?
Yeah, and he's chasing a chicken. Like that's what it is. And then Gonzo takes the chicken. Like it writes itself.
That's
It's
the
there.
origin of Gonzo's chicken.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
It's right there. This is $1 million idea. Disney, why aren't you calling us? What the fuck's the matter?
It's weird.
So that's the thing. That's a heavy hitter. And
yes, it is.
Judging from your apprehension for the next one, I bet the next one's going to be even better. What are we watching next time?
So I saw this some time ago and I'm not really looking forward to it, but it could surprise me, but it's 1982. Q the Winged Serpent.
Never seen it. It's been on my queue for a long time. No, pun intended. But okay. I hear it's terrible, but I'm excited.
From what I remember, it's not great.
Okay.
But it's next in line. That we're gonna rock and roll with Q the Winged Serpent.
Let's do it. I'm super excited. All right. Well, then, until then, Chad, where can the people find you?
They can find me on Twitter X, NQC Podcast.
Awesome. And if you're looking for me, you can find me in the not quite darkness. Buckle kite.